There's a new build going around on Gwen consisting of a Divine Sunder Rush, which a lot of Korean high elo players and just high elo players in general are playing right now on their Gwen. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking that down and comparing it to the more popular Riftmaker setup. Alright, so we'll run down a couple damage tests here. First with Divine Sunder against a Riven who would be about level 8, level 9. She'd have 1500 HP with her Gourd Drinker and about 50 armor, 50 magic resist. It's not the exact amount that she'd have, but it'd be pretty close. And the combo we'll be using here is a Q, 2 auto attacks, E, 3 more auto attacks, Q, and then another auto. And by using this combo, we're going to be able to get 3 Spellblade procs off from Divine Sunder. Alright, so as you can see there with the entire combo, we're going to be dealing 1,312 total damage. Alright, now moving on to Riftmaker. This is the most popular rush item right now on Gwen, so we'll be testing the exact same combo and see how the damage compares. So if we go ahead here, Q, 2 auto attacks, E. So as you can see there, 1,132 damage. So it's actually quite a bit less damage with the Riftmaker compared to the Divine Sunder on your one item spike. Let's just do one more test here, and instead of throwing in 3 Spellblade procs from Divine Sunder, let's just use 2, because honestly in most situations you're not going to be able to weave your Spellblade procs in perfectly. So let's just do 2 here and see how the damage compares. So we'll do Q, 2 autos, E. We didn't get the Spellblade proc there, and we're still going to deal a little bit more damage. So we got 2 Spellblade procs off there, 1,212 damage compared to, I think it was 1,130 from Riftmaker. Alright, so we're just on the pro build section here of u.gg for Gwen, and we'll just run down the complete setup you should be looking to take. So as we can see here, there are a lot of pro players building the Divine Sunder on Gwen. We have Rascal from Gen G building it right here. If we scroll down, we have most notably Canna, who's been spamming it a ton recently. He's got like 4 games right there. Scroll down even further, a couple more games right there. So there are a lot of pros playing this setup right now. Another interesting thing to note for this setup is that lots of players are also going the Ignite Teleport. That seems to be a really good strategy right now on the Gwen top as well. We have Kingen from DRX, been playing it a ton recently, had a pretty big pop-off game right there. And even stat-wise, guys, as you can see, the Ignite and Teleport does win the most by far out of any summoner spell combination on Gwen right now. We can even filter this, like if we go to, high elo, it's the same up there. More players are taking it in high elo. It's got a 52% win rate there. If we just take a look at low elo as well for comparison, it even has like an insanely high win rate in the lower elos there. So the Ignite Teleport definitely very underrated right now on the Gwen top for sure. Alright, so running down a sample full setup that Canna has been running on his Gwen is going to be Conquers the Keystone with Presence of Mind, Alacrity, Last Stand. Very important here with Resolve secondary. Lots of solo queue Gwens are making the mistake of taking Domination secondary. It's just not great anymore after the Ravenous Hunter nerfs a couple patches back. So it's going to be the Demolish with Bone Plating. You can also go Revitalize instead of Demolish here. Like if you're in a matchup to where you don't think you're going to be able to like snowball a ton early on, if you don't think you're going to be like up under the enemy's tower and getting a ton of use out of Demolish, then you can just take Revitalize. And then for the rune stats, double adaptive with either MR or armor. You can also take attack speed there depending on preference. And then for the complete build, it's going to be the Doran's Blade start. Another very important thing to note here, lots of solo queue Gwens are making the mistake of taking Doran's Ring start or going Corrupting Potion. So Doran's Blade just synergizes way better with Gwen. It even wins like a ton more. I think it wins like 3 or 4% more as a starting item than Doran's Ring in solo queue right now. So definitely make the swap over to Doran's Blade if you're somebody who's going for a Doran's Ring start. Dark Seal on first base into the Divine Sunder here, and then into the Nashers, grab Merc Treads, or Tabis depending on the enemy composition, and then it's going to be Cosmic Drive third. So that's your core build there. Divine Sunder, Nashers, Cosmic Drive, and then finish it off with the Zhonya's if the game does reach that point. And then for the complete ability max, E start at level 1 with Q at level 2, W at level 3, Q max first, E second, and then W last. Okay, so this is why you start the Doran's Blade on your Gwen. You're going to have the Bone Plating as well, and you're going to start your E level 1, and you just look to tread aggressively onto the Silas here. So 3 or 4 auto attacks off there. I think that was 4 auto attacks. And of course, when you auto after using your E, the cooldown on it gets reduced by half. So because Silas has such long cooldowns early on, Canna's just able to completely zone him away here. Salah's E is a 14-second cooldown at rank 1, whereas Gwen E, if you get the auto attack off and reduce it by half, it's on a like 6 or 7-second cooldown, 6.5-second cooldown there. So you can see just playing so aggressively at the level 1, and that's the reasoning behind the Doran's Blade. If you have the Doran's Ring and you get a bunch of auto attacks off by starting your E, you're just not gonna have as much damage, so it just makes a lot more sense to start the Doran's Blade. Okay, now because Gwen does have very short cooldowns on her abilities, you really want to punish when the enemy is on cooldown. So Salah's right now at level 5, taking a look at cooldowns here. 9.5 on W, 14 on E, 10 on Q. Whereas if we take a look at Gwen, 5 only on Q, and it gets reduced to 6.5 on E when you auto. Okay, so right here, Salas is now on cooldown, so he's just looking to play very aggressive. Right up in his face, looking to trade here. Just really trying to abuse the fact that he's going to have the more consistent damage output in this matchup. Alright, now after that trade, he hits level 6, and because because he's got priority, he can just roam down the river here, grab the fruit, head back to lane, and now he's just completely in control of this matchup. So he forces Salas into a really weird predicament to where he's going to have to base and like lose a wave or two at some point here. So if we just fast forward a little bit, see what happens. So Salas can't really move up and trade at all here. If he does, then he's just going to lose. So Canna's just trying to zone him completely, you know, trying to contest for every single CS, right? Make the enemy, make the enemy pay for every CS they try to go for when you have an advantage. That's exactly what he's doing right here. So the Q damage there is pretty insane. You know, if you can get the true damage off, it definitely adds up. The fact that it's on such a short cooldown as well. And then right here, right, Salas does have to base now because he just can't stay in lane. And Canna's actually going to use ult here. So this is a, interesting thing to pick up on as well, is that when you need to get a wave pushed in as quick as possible, right, when you want to get a reset, just use ult. And this is why you take the Demolish here, right? He's confident in the matchup, confident he's going to be able to bully Salas out and be up under his tower. So great use out of Demolish there. Gets 2 tower plates, so that's free 320 gold there off that sequence of, or off that play right there. We should also note item-wise on the first base here, he's going to pick up or not on the first base, it's like a second base, but he's going to grab the Executioner's Calling. So when you're in a matchup up against a champion who heals a ton or who relies on healing to win out on extended fights or win out on trades, then Executioner's really valuable. And because Salas W healing is, pretty insane, pick up that Executioner's, really limits what he's going to be able to do here now in the 1v1. Alright, so we can just see right here, whenever W is up, like right now, you can just trade so aggressively because Salas just can't look to go onto Gwen when W is up. When it's down, you gotta be, a little bit more careful, but just the amount of consistent damage you can deal because of Gwen's Q. Level 7 here, what do we got? We got a 4.25 second cooldown. Like, there's just so much poke power, so much ability to zone early on in the laning phase here, and Canna's doing that really well, just chunking Salas out whenever he's looking to go in for any last hits. Okay, so after getting some good poke off on Salas here, notice what he's going to do in this situation. He's not going to try to push the wave into tower. He's just going to only last hit and zone Salas away. If Salas wants to walk up for any last hits here, then he's just going to look to trade aggressively and he's going to look to punish. So on this minion here, notice Salas is looking to go in, so kind of notices that, and he immediately punishes, all-ins the Salas, and he's going to pick up the kill here. So yeah, it's so difficult now for Salas to do anything, especially once his Executioners comes in. You got the low cooldown on Q for Gwen, so just poke Salas out, walks up too far, all in, and you get yourself a nice kill in the matchup. A little bit unfortunate there. He ends up going down to the Twisted Fate, but the wave should be pushing back. Yeah, the wave's pushing back towards him here, so it's completely fine. Really solid play overall. Alright, so shoving the wave under tower, he is a level up on the Salas here. And if Salas tries to go in at all, there's really no way he's going to win. So he tries to go in. The consistent damage there, man, it's just really ridiculous. Even the burst when you have ult available is pretty insane. What do we have the Q cooldown at level 10 now? We got it at 3.5 seconds. So if Salas doesn't like jump in and one-shot you, then you're just going to automatically win. Like, there's no way he can beat out beat you out in an extended fight when you have a cooldown so short, like 3.5 seconds. E is about like 6 seconds right now, so He just abuses that in this situation. You notice here the demolish proc on the tower really helps him out there. He gets every single tower plate this game, so when the situation is right, running demolish can be really strong. And in this matchup here, he's confident in the matchup. Any matchup you're confident in that you're gonna be able to get some early kills or be under the enemy's tower snowballing, demolish can work super well. Okay, so this play right here just really goes to show the durability that Divine Sunder provides you. So Silas jumps in here. He gets the heal off from passive and Divine Sunder, so he doesn't end up going down here really low in this situation, about 100 HP. Heals up from Triumph a couple times, so your sustain is just really insane. Your ability to stay in these consistent fights is great with this setup on your Gwen. Alright, so the final play we'll take a look at here to end the game. We have Divine Sunder and Nashers completed now, so that's going to be your core build. And at this point here, you're such a great damage threat, but you notice the HP, he's got 1,900 HP as well, so he's not very easy to take down either, which makes the build just so versatile. Jumps in here, bursts out the Karma pretty easily. And that is going to be the end of the game here. It looks like they go back and take Baron and then the enemy team FF. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and you have a pretty good understanding now as to why, you know, Divine Sunder into Nashers. Now we didn't get to the Cosmic Drive in this game here because the game ends in a couple seconds, but hopefully you now understand why this setup is being spammed quite a bit in the higher elos and to why it has some really good potential on Gwen. So if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you have yet to already. So thanks for watching, have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.